Jayam. So, after the test, so you asked me to actually make a little bit more complicated problems and actually do harder problems. That's fine, no problem. I'm trying to do my best. Today we're going to learn how to graph system of linear equations. And then I also did objective today. And objective is basically by the end of the lesson, you could read over the objective and see, did we really understand what we're supposed to learn today? So our objective today is, given two linear equations, students will be able to graph the equations and determine the solutions to the system. Alright, before we get started, that's a long bell. Alright, before we get started, we need to talk about the word systems. Where have you heard the word systems before? Think about it. Pause it if you have to, but just think about it. Where have I heard the word systems before? I'll wait. Okay, got it? So systems, I think back and I think, oh, where have I heard the word systems? I heard it in, let's say, respiratory system. I also heard it in solar system. And I also heard it in like stereo systems and other places too. So what does the word system of linear equations really mean? What does the word system mean? System is actually two or more things working together. For example, respiratory system, you have all your organs and stuff working together to help you breathe. In the solar system, you have all these planets working together to make the solar system. And in stereo system, you have all these speakers and receivers and everything working together to make a sound system. So what does system of linear equations mean? System means lines, multiple things working together, lines working together to come up with a solution. Lines. So then we're talking about how many lines then? We're talking about 2 lines right now. And later on we'll talk about 3 and 4 and so on and so on. But we're just going to talk about 2 lines working together to get a solution. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to graph one line like this, like a red line. You're going to graph another line like this green line, and you have to determine what are the solutions to that system. What are solutions for both equations? Take a look. If you look at our goal right here is to find this point where they cross. And this point where they cross is the solution for the green line, also the solution for the red line. So they're the solution for both equations. And that's our goal today, to find out where they intersect. The solution for both lines, the point where both lines cross. Let's do an example together. Not that one, not that one. Let's do this one example together. Take a look. I have 2 lines here. You guys see them? I have my first line right here. I want to graph for you in red. And every time you graph a line, you must make sure it's in the right form, which is y-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Is that in the right form? Yes. Great. So actually, we need to find 2 things. We need to find m, we need to find b when we're graphing. What does m stand for? M stands for slope. What's the slope here? 2/3. What's b? The y-intercept, -3. So graph this. Start at -3, 1, 2, 3. Right here at -3, you go the slope, which tells us to go up 2 and right 3. Up 2 and right 3. Graph your line. Make it straight. There you go. Perfect. Now I'm going to graph the next one in blue. Same thing. I want to find m. I want to find b. What's the slope here? The slope is -3, but we want it as a fraction. So -3/1. What's b? b is +1. So when you're graphing this, you start at b on the y. We'll start at 1 on the y. We go -3, that means 3 down and 1 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right here. Graph your line. If you have a ruler, it looks a lot better. So our idea here is to find the solutions for these systems. Where do they both cross? It looks like they both crossed about right here. And what is that point? And it's an estimate, so sometimes you won't get exactly. Sometimes you might have to guess, but it's an estimate. So my estimation is, my solution is, it looks like 1, -2. 1, -2. And there's my solution. That point will be the same answer for both equations. And it's just an estimate. We're trying to get close. And later on, we're going to show you other ways to solve a system that will give you more exact answers. Good? Would you like to see another one? A little bit harder. Take a look. How do you solve this system? Once again, I have 2 equations. and they're kind of in the way. Right there. Here's my first equation in blue, or green actually, and I'm going to solve that one first. So take a look. How do I solve that system of equation? First of all, I need to get into the right form. I have to get into y equals mx plus b. So we got to get y by itself, move everything else on the other side. So take a look. I'll move this other equation out of the way for now, and I'm just going to work with this one. What I need to do, first of all, I have to move everything else on the other side, leaving y by itself. So I got a 3y. I move the x over, so that would be a negative 4x. I move the 5 over, add 5 to both sides, so it'll be a plus 6. Then divide everything by 3. Y equals negative 4 over 3x plus 2. Graph this. When I'm graphing this, I need to find two things before I graph this. I need to find my m. I need to find my b. My m is negative 4 over 3. My b is 2. Start with 2. Make your first dot. Then graph it. That means 4 down, 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 to the right. Connect your lines. Alright, how do you feel about that one? Not too bad, right? We'll do a harder one in a little bit. Let's graph this one right here. I'm graph this one in blue. Take a look. Graphing this one in blue. First of all, I'm going to distribute. It becomes 3y plus 3 equals x plus 1. Solve for y. Get y by itself, moving everything else on the other side. That would be a 3y equals x minus 2. Divide by 3. Y equals. How do I divide this by 3? Let's take a look real fast. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. See this problem on the test too. This is not 3x. This is what's on top. This is a 1 on top. That's 1 over 3x. So basically 1/3 x minus 2/3. Find two things. I need to find my m. I need to find my b once in y-intercept form. My m is 1/3. My b is negative 2/3. How do I graph this? I go between negative 1, 0, and negative 1. I make my dot. I go 1 up, 3 to the right. 1 up right here, 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3. Make my second dot. I graph my line. Now, it's just an estimate, but we want to estimate that solution there. So my solution is, it looks like maybe 1.3 comma 0, and it's just an estimate. Later on, we're going to find out how to get that exact answer, but we're just estimating, and that's the problem with graphing, because a lot of things can go wrong. You cannot graph, your lines may be not straight, maybe your grid is not straight, maybe things could go wrong, maybe it doesn't connect it. So we're just estimating that so far. How do you feel about the second problem? Good? Awesome. Let's do one more problem and call it a day. Last one, a little bit harder. Take a look. I have two equations now, a little bit harder, more fractions, because you guys love fractions so much, I can tell by your test. So let's do the first one over here. I'll do the first one in green. How do I get rid of something like that? First of all, I could distribute, I could simplify, I could get rid of the 3 first. A lot of strategies in here. So what do you want to do first? I'm just asking.
Like any product?
This one right here, this green one.
Oh, I would just, no, I know, multiply by 3 first.
Okay, so over here we have Jennifer with us.
Okay.
She says, I want to multiply by 3 first. I hate the fraction, I'm going to get rid of the fraction. So I'll multiply everything by 3. Take a look, I'll multiply this by 3, everything over here by 3. By multiplying by 3, it gets rid of the denominator 3, but does not get rid of the numerator. So it's left with the 2, y plus 1 equals, distribute that 3, 3x plus 1. Very good. Yes, plus 3. Good job. You're making me nervous. That's the ugly. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Plus 3. Good. I don't know how many other mistakes I made. Distribute this. This becomes 2y plus 2 equals 3x plus 3. Simplify it. Move the 2 over. 2y equals 3x plus 1. Divide everything by 2. Y equals 3 over 2x plus 1/2. Great. Here's my first equation. Is it a y-intercept form? Yes. Find two things. I need to find my m. I need to find my b. My m is 3/2. My b is 1/2. I'm going to graph this real fast. Got a lot of people coming in now. Starting with b at 1/2. Going 3 up. 1, 2, 3. 2 to the right. Make my second dot. Draw my line. Perfect. Oh, my second line in blue. So, it looks like I gotta distribute this negative here, and I have this 1/3 over here. So I want to get rid of the parentheses first. So I got a 1/3 y plus 1 equals negative x minus 1. Make sure that negative goes into the x and the 1. Minus 1 from both sides. 1/3 y equals negative x minus 2. Now how do I get rid of 1/3? I multiply everything by 3. Everything by 3. That becomes a y equals negative 3x minus 6.
Yay.
Thank you. I need to find two things here before I graph this. I need to find my m. I need to find my b. My m is negative 3/1. My b is negative 6, so we start at negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could go 1, 2, 3 down and 1 over. Or I can actually put the negative on bottom so it becomes positive 3 over negative 1. I could go up 1, 2, 3 and left to the 1 and I get the same point, the same line. Did you know that? Now you do, knowing half the battle. Alright, graph your line. Straight like mine. And you see, if you're off just a little bit, you see how those points cross a little bit different. I think this is my point. The other line is no bueno. So, let me clean that up. And therefore, what's that solution? It looks like my solution is negative 1/2, negative 1/2. Negative 1.5, negative 1.5. There you go. And we're just estimating right now when you're graphing two lines. How do you guys feel?
Good.
Awesome. Whew, I got an audience. So, a couple questions I'm going to ask you when you go home and work on this. A couple things. What happens if the lines are parallel? What are solutions when lines are parallel? What happens if they're the same line? What happens if they're on top of each other? What's the solution comes up with there? All right. Good job, guys. All right. That's it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.